What if everything you believe about learning is wrong? Think about the last time you tried to learn something new, a language, a musical instrument, a skill, or a sport. You start with progress, then confusion hits, and most people quit there. And every time they think, I'm not good at this, I don't have the talent, maybe it's not in my genes, but what if that was never true? Richard Feynman, known as a genius who always got it fast, spent hours stuck on problems that felt impossible at first. Beethoven spent years trying to turn what he heard in his mind into music. Even the legendary Michael Jordan was cut from his high school team because he wasn't good enough. So here's the real question. If they all struggled the same way, why did they master it while most people quit? What if it wasn't talent, but hidden learning principles they were unknowingly following? Today, I'll show you the hidden pattern behind learning, why most people feel stuck, and how a few break through it. Let's break it down into 4 core principles. Principle 1. Learning starts in confusion. Most people think confusion means failure, but neuroscience says the opposite. When you learn something new, your brain is literally building new neural pathways. At first, these connections are weak, unstable, and inefficient. That's why you don't feel progress. You only feel effort. This is called the illusion of no progress. And here's the part most people miss. This illusion is exactly where learning actually begins. Einstein once explained that real understanding is not instant. It is accumulated discomfort followed by sudden clarity. That click moment doesn't happen at the beginning. It happens after confusion is sustained long enough. And this is where most people fail without realizing it. Simple strategies. Don't switch topics too early. Stay at least 3 to 5 sessions on one concept. Treat confusion as part of learning, not a stop signal. Write down what confuses you instead of avoiding it. Use self-explanation. Try explaining it out loud even if you're wrong. And here's a critical insight most learners never hear. If you feel lost, you are not behind. You are inside the process. As Feynman used to say, if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it yet. But what people forget is, he often struggled for hours before reaching simplicity, and that struggle is the real learning phase. Principle 2. Delayed learning payoff. Now here's something that breaks most people's expectations. Learning is not linear. It looks like this: nothing, 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 and then suddenly clarity. But pause here for a second, because this is exactly the moment most people quit. This is called delayed learning payoff. Your brain is consolidating information in the background, even when nothing seems to be happening. And interestingly, students often feel worse right before understanding something. A powerful concept from the book Make It Stick by Peter C. Brown explains this clearly. Difficulty during learning actually improves long-term retention. So let me ask you, what if the hard phase is not a problem, but the actual mechanism of learning? Simple strategies. Use spaced repetition instead of cramming. Revisit topics after 1 day, 3 days, 7 days. Stop measuring progress by how easy it feels. Focus on recall, not rereading. Most people quit during the nothing phase. But here's the paradox. That nothing phase is where everything is being built. Principle 3. Effort feels like failure. Your brain wants instant feedback, so when you don't feel smart, it feels like failure. But cognitively, it's just construction work. Think of it like building a bridge. At first, nothing is visible above the surface, and this is where most people get it wrong. No visible progress doesn't mean nothing is happening. Beneath the surface, everything is forming. That's why Michael Jordan matters. He was cut from his high school team. Most people think, I'm not good enough. But he thought, I'm not developed yet. That shift, identity versus development, is everything. Simple strategies. Track effort, not feeling. Don't restart when stuck. Stay 25 to 45 minutes through discomfort. Separate confusion from incapability. Key idea. Confusion isn't the opposite of learning. It's the start. But most people quit before anything becomes visible. Principle 4. Illusion of mastery. Now here's a subtle trap almost everyone falls into today. Short videos, summaries, fast tutorials. Everything feels like learning. But recognition is not mastery. Just because something feels familiar doesn't mean you can use it. This is the illusion of competence, and it's dangerous. You think you're improving, but you're only consuming. Einstein warned about this indirectly. Real understanding needs patience with uncertainty, not fast information. And Feynman avoided it with a simple rule. He didn't try to recognize knowledge, he tried to rebuild it from zero. Simple strategies. Close your notes and try to rebuild the idea from memory. Teach it, even if your explanation is imperfect. Avoid passive learning, watching, reading only. Mix practice problems with learning immediately, because here's the real test. If you can't reproduce it, you don't own it yet. Now let's connect everything. Learning isn't about how fast you understand something. It's about how long you can stay in confusion without quitting. That's the real dividing line. Not intelligence, not talent, not memory. Just patience inside uncertainty. And here's what most people miss. Everyone you consider skilled simply stayed longer in that phase than others. So when learning feels slow, when nothing makes sense, when you feel stuck, that's not a signal to stop. That's the signal you're in the process. Ask yourself one question. Am I just before the point where this starts making sense? Because most people quit right there. And if you don't just learn the skill. You change how you learn forever. And that changes everything.